How's it going, guys? My name is Maikya and welcome back to another video today. So for today I'm going to be talking about the rumoured armour evolution theory for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Over the last few days since the announcement of Pokemon Sword and Shield going onto the Nintendo Switch, we've been getting a lot of leaks regarding this sort of armoured evolution sort of thing. So we've been getting a lot of kind of people saying and people coming up with these kind of ideas and theories to do with this new mechanic. So it's sort of like the new Mega Evolution but for the Galar region. So I'm going to tell you a little bit behind the whole idea and what it's all about, and then we'll go into some of the actual leaks and the actual rumours and that sort of thing. Basically what's happened is we've got a whole load of posts happening where people are talking about this idea of Pokemon's being upgraded by getting this armor or being given this item that then gives them an armored evolution that then boosts their stats or adds another type to their, to their current typing. So, for example, we've been getting rumours about Flygon, Charizard, Mewtwo, and other Mons, including our starters. So, I don't know if it's real. Take it with a pinch of salt. But we're going to go straight into the posts, and I will show you guys what I mean, and we'll kind of work it out and break it down for you guys. So, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to smash the like button just before we get to the next bit. And let me know what you guys think and whether you think this is a possibility or not. I know a lot of other content creators have covered it, but here's my thoughts. So let's get on with it. Right, so we've got this first bit here. This is the original 4chan post which started this whole theory off. So basically this was posted on the 21st of February by Anonymous. And this was actually before we got our direct. Literally before we got our direct. Now, obviously, people don't actually look at this stuff until we've actually got our announcements because they don't know that this is going to be real. But as soon as people say Sword and Shield, they go, oh, wow, this guy said Sword and Shield way before we got an announcement. This guy must know something, which in theory he could. We don't know this yet. We don't have an idea. He's anonymous. He's just got a random number user. We don't know who he is. We're just saying it might be real, it might not be. So take it with a pinch of salt. Anyway, he said here, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. The region is Great Britain, so we obviously got that right. You know, he got that right. Well done. Good job. Right? Legendary Pokemon are Metal Snake and Wooden Horse. I'm going to go into this on another theory video, so look out for that later this week. Should be up later this week. And I'll be discussing that in a bit more detail. But for now, we're leaving that be. Armoured Evolutions is the next bit he said about. So he's already said about Great Britain, which is true. With Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is also true. So this guy's on a good roll. He said about Armoured Evolutions. Now, this theory actually has a bit of kind of evidence to back it up, so we'll go into that in the later part of the video, but for now just keep that on your mind. And he says armored Charizard, armored Mewtwo, armored Flygon, and armored Zeraora. Now that makes sense because we haven't seen much of Zeraora recently. Mythical, obviously. Armored Flygon is a dragon, a dragon type. He's a dragon. It kind of makes sense to have this armor and be like all cool and mighty and dragon-like. Mewtwo makes sense because of the new Mewtwo movies, but I don't really understand how that relates to anything, to be honest. Apart from the idea that there could be, it's kind of like a new Mega Evolution for Mewtwo, but instead of being X and Y, it's armoured. So that could be a theory. Or it could just be that they decided to do that, I don't know. They could be doing more, we don't know yet. And then there's obviously armoured Charizard, and we've actually got a drawing that someone did in 2015, which I'll link down below. And it'll probably either be on the thumbnail or it'll be here on screen right now. It depends. But we have seen that Charizard got X and Y Mega Evolutions, so could they just add one more? Who knows? Why Charizard? I don't know. He's a dragon again. Flames, fire, all this kind of medieval stuff anyway. So it also says here that Melton ties into Armoured Evolution and Legendary lore. Now that's quite interesting because on that hill in the Galar region, I'll put a picture here, there is a Meltan looking sort of thing. Now, I don't think it is Meltan. I believe it's like some kind of dragon or something like that. But it could be Meltan kind of in a different form. Sort of like Zygarde, but Meltan instead. I don't know. We've got Meltan and Melmetal, but there could be more. We don't know yet. So, obviously take that with a pinch of salt again. But it could be a possibility. Now, this is quite interesting because I've then found a post on Reddit by a user. It's not a leak, it's just a guy who's thought, hey, I'll just discuss this a bit further, and he has some really nice ideas. So let's go and have a look at that, and I'll talk about that a bit more. Right, so this guy posted a few hours ago on Reddit. He said, theory on armor evolution. So Armor Evolution has been a very hot topic at the moment. Here's what I think it could be. Now, this guy has a really, really good idea. Like, I don't know why, but he has a really good, thoughtful idea. I'm going to upvote it right now, actually, because I think it's that good of an idea. Right, anyway. The first point he said is a special piece of metal will be held by a certain Pokemon. That makes sense. It's sort of like a Megastone, as you'd put it, or a evolutionary item. And the plates are smelted, and their elements are infused with this metal through a special smelting process from melton/mel metal. So he's basically saying you need a melton or mel metal to smelt these plates, and their elements are infused with it, much like Arceus' plates, which he says basically later. And he says, the held metal provided applies an additional typing to the Pokemon based on its element once activated. Activation similar to Mega Evolution. And these elemental plates are known to change the typing of Arceus. It could be argued that these are almost like doing that, but instead of actually changing his type, they add another type to these Pokemon, so you can infuse these elements, which makes sense because it's kind of like alchemy. Alchemy links a lot to medieval sort of magic, that sort of thing. So it's a really good idea. Like, it makes sense, and it kind of goes along with the theory just a little bit. And he said that the metals could also simply be Blue Metal Armor Evolution greatly boosts either attack, special attack, speed stats, sword version, or Red Metal Armor Evolution boosts HP, defense, or special defense, shield version. That would be cool. That could be awesome. I think that would deter a lot of people away, though, if that was the case. Another thing that this kind of links to is my Swirl logo video, the kind of spiral thing. You know, that fusion sort of thing. That could either be representing the whole, like, fusing elements sort of thing, like he's mentioned here. Or it could be what he said earlier, blue and red metal kind of doing different things. One does attack, one does defense. You could almost have two different varieties of armor, maybe, and boost all the stats that are towards attack. Or you could boost all the defense stats. Who knows? This could be an interesting mechanic to kind of boost your Pokemon in certain ways to be competitively advantageous over your opponent. It's sort of like a Z move, but it's not a Z move. It's obviously boosting your stats, it's changing your stats. It's sort of like a Mega Evolution, but it's more specific. It makes sense. It sounds like a really cool rumor. I'm really, really excited if this is going to be what it is. So it's quite interesting to see that that's kind of what people are thinking. So thanks to this guy, Chemical Current on Reddit. Really nice post that. So go and upvote that. I'll put the link down below. And let's continue into how this theory further develops. So today, PokeExperto, a good news guy, does a lot of Spanish news for Pokemon and stuff. He tweeted this picture, and it's basically about merchandise regarding Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, which is also coming out this year, surprisingly, along with Pokemon Sword and Shield. So it says here, the new series of keychains from the movie Pokemon Strikes Back Evolution. There are two images with question mark, question mark, question mark pending to reveal. So if we look at this sheet here, now this is one of those kind of handouts that they kind of do. So they say, oh, this is the merchandise that's going to be coming up, and here are the specifications for it. They do it for every bit of merchandise they do. If you want to ask anyone, ask Paul Ryan, Poker Shopper. He has all the information on that sort of thing. Go check him out. Anyway. So they do these little sheets, these little fact sheets with those stuff. We saw this with Zeraora as well. There was a real big like black image, and we like, is it an evolution? Is it Zeraora? Turned out there was Zeraora there anyway. So they do this a lot. So when they put no image, it means it's something we've never seen before. Now there's two here, and the interesting thing is if we look at this from a really, really, really tight perspective, if you look, we can see there's Pikachu, obviously, which is guaranteed. It's Ash's Pokemon. That makes sense. It's kind of like a, you know, it's revolutionary. It's the Pokemon franchise's mascot. It makes sense. Then we've got Mew. That makes sense as well because it's Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Also makes sense. Mewtwo, obviously, that's totally understandable. It's Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Then we have Charizard. Why do we have Charizard? What's Charizard got to do with anything? I know he tackles Mewtwo in the trailer we've just seen, but what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't link to anything we've seen really before. So, there's this theory and this concept that I've thought of, and I've also seen a lot of people saying there could be links to these images are armoured versions of Mewtwo and Charizard. Obviously, there's a Mewtwo kind of on the left there of that bottom image, and then on the top right image, there's the Charizard quite close to it, and they're pointing out his flames and his wings. I don't know what it says. Obviously, I can't read Japanese. Probably should do that. But we can see that it kind of is next to Pikachu, And there's one next to Mewtwo. So it could either be Armored Pikachu, maybe. Who knows? And Armored Mewtwo. Or it could be Armored Charizard and Armored Mewtwo. Or, you know. It's quite interesting because there's obviously something they've not revealed. There's 5 question marks on the bottom one. There's 3 on the top one. What does that mean? Who knows? But the point is that there's obviously something missing here. There's obviously something related to the new movies that I'm expecting because of when the new movies are revealed, which is June. I assume this merchandise is going to be revealed in May, possibly. Maybe April, probably May though. So we need to keep our eyes peeled for that. But that links to the Armored Evolution idea. So it could be that there's, you know, this theory of, oh, well, what's this? We don't know yet, but it could be something new. So keep that in mind. That is definitely something we need to keep an eye on for sure. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'll probably cover it again in the future. So keep that on your mind, guys. That's definitely something to consider in this theory. And I'll move on to the last thing that kind of links this theory all together. Now, this last bit of the theory is from PokeBip. So this guy does a lot of Spanish news, a lot like PokeExperto. Very similar, and he did a really interesting tweet, which I saw yesterday, but I thought I'd cover it in today's video. And it's about Pokenchi, which we actually watched on stream last night, I think it was. And or the night before, I believe. But we watched Pokenchi and nothing really happened. Apart from the fact that Omori has announced that the theme of the new games, Pokemon Sword and Shield, is about the strongest Pokemon. Now, if you think about that for a second, the strongest Pokemon, what does that mean? What can that entail? Now, if we're looking at that guy's theory earlier in the video, we can clearly see that it's kind of something to do with stats, obviously, because, you know, strongest Pokemon, you can only get a strong Pokemon if it's high-leveled or you have good stats, or both. So it's clearly something to do with good stats. Could it be argued that we get this armor, we give it to the Pokemon, and then all of a sudden this Pokemon has increased stats out of nowhere, and this becomes the strongest Pokemon? Could this mean something to our Pokemon Sword and Shield adventure? Who knows? But Omori, the director, has said that this is a case. He said it's the strongest Pokemon, that's the theme. Obviously, the other games had different themes, so I don't know what they were, but, you know, obviously I'll list them below, or I'll put them on here or something like that. But from my head, I can't remember, but they've had other themes. So obviously, this is quite important to us. They did nothing else, no other news apart from this. So obviously consider the fact that it could be something to do with this. So we've got the strongest Pokemon, which also means that it's armoured, which means that the armour is increasing the stats possibly. It's kind of bulking them up or making them stronger. So it's quite interesting how it all links together. Now that's all the stuff I've got for today. I think I've covered enough there. I hope you guys are kind of informed now and kind of understand this a little bit better. And be sure to let me know if you guys have any more developments on the theory that I've missed. And I'd love to check them out, and I'll obviously cover them in a future video and develop it a bit more. But anyway, guys, that's all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video.